The HUT Millennium event has been fantastic, giving us essentially 10 Master Set players to go after. In this video, I'm going to give my opinions and rankings on those 10 Master Set players. If you're trying to decide between which ones you should go for that would help your team the most, this is the video for you. All right, let's get the 95s out of the way first. Matt Sundin and Chris Pronger. Guys, these are both cards that you should make. The discount that you get for making them is considerable, and I don't care if you have every team of the season, all of the team builders, there is a spot on everyone's team for both Matt Sundin and Chris Pronger. If you can only make one, or you only want to make one, make sure it's team dependent. If Chris Pronger is going to play on your third pairing, then I would probably go with Matt Sundin. There is not many cards at all that can play center better than this Matt Sundin card, so keep that in mind. When it comes to Chris Pronger, I only had his 95. I played 16 games of HUT Champs this past weekend, and I noticed him every time I was defending my own zone. Same with the neutral zone. He is an animal to deal with. Offensively, I didn't really get anything out of him, and that's kind of odd because I take so many wrist shots from the point for tips in front, things like that. However, I don't really think you need offense from him. That's not where his strengths lie, but it's definitely a possibility. 6'6", 220 with gold truculent, silver stick him up. Like, you're just not going to find that very available. And because he only costs 44 collectibles to make, this is just a no-brainer. However, Matt Sundin has been one of the best cards I've used all year round. I said this when the event came out. 6'5", 231 with gold unstoppable force, silver truculence, and at 98 overall, getting to 97 acceleration, 96 speed, you just simply won't see that in this video game. And the fact that you can guarantee yourself it, and at a discount, there isn't one player playing this game that can come up with a team that does not have Matt Sundin on it. So, unless you hate the Toronto Maple Leafs or Matt Sundin, I would do everything in your power, save up all of your rewards, everything like that, and go get the 95 Matt Sundin and slowly upgrade him whenever you need to. You don't even really need to upgrade him. In 16 HUT Champs games, he had 10 points for me, so I can't complain at all. He has been impactful every time I have the puck with him, and he's already one of my favorite cards. Now to remember, just to reiterate the savings, it would cost you 44 HUT Millennium collectibles to trade in and get all the 86 Master Set players to get Sundin or Pronger, right at 95 overall. To do that for a normal Master Set player at 86, it would cost you, let's say, 7 to guarantee yourself the one that you want, which means you're only getting them up to 92 overall for that same cost. That is why Sundin and Pronger, everyone should be making them. It is just a great savings for you. Last thing before we rank the other 8 Master Set players, I reiterate this every single time I do one of these videos. Please always take your favorite player in an event. Disregard whatever is going to give you the biggest competitive advantage, because there's only one person that's going to win the Gaming World Championship. Have some fun. That being said, if you really want to know what card is going to help you the most in game, these are the ones in my opinion. All right, we'll start down in the B tier, kicking things off with the 97 Scott Niedermayer. Again, great card. Maxed out skating is maxed out skating, and it's not like he's small. He's 6'1", 200. The only issue I have with Scott Niedermayer is that he's going up against, well, 98 Chris Pronger. Chris Pronger's cheaper to make and a far better defenseman card in this game, so no matter what, he is never going to be your best player. I would much rather go and make Chris Pronger and then invest my collectibles and coins in making another Master Set player that would help you at another position. I think Quick Pick is interesting because cross crease passes just go through like it's NHL 21 again. However, I haven't seen any evidence of Quick Pick actually working. I think NHL 23 is just a mess, so that might be that. And Shutdown kind of saves this card defensively, because Shutdown is one of the best abilities in the game. However, it just doesn't always activate when you're in your own zone, so that's why Truculence is so much better. A fantastic card. I don't blame anyone for making him, but in my opinion, of the 8 available to make, I think he is in the lowest tier. Also in the B tier is the 97 Rick Nash. 6'4", 211, great size. That is meta size that you want for your players in NHL 23. 95 speed and acceleration is just fine when you consider all of the other events and cards that just aren't getting 99 speed. The issue here is simply just his abilities. You're not going to activate puck on a string, make it snappy, or ankle breaker if you're looking for competitive online play. And Big Rig is only going to be viable for players that actually use the protect puck feature. Close quarters is one of, if not the best offensive abilities in the game. However, because he has no other abilities to go with it, that just kind of puts him in the bottom tier of this event. On top of that, he can only play left-handed winger. So if you've got McDavid at wing, Yager at wing, any of the other high-end cards, he probably isn't going to pass them, which is why he is in the B tier. To be fair, I have made Rick Nash, and I really like using his card, but yeah, I just think they're a better option. Next up, this one is extremely difficult for me to rank, because one, every time I use a Sidney Crosby card, it is extremely underwhelming, except for the first month and a half of this year's game and his X Factor, but I think that might have something to do with elite edges and unstoppable force being so impactful at the beginning of the year. But secondly, he does give lineup flexibility because he can play left-handed winger or center, and he does have unstoppable force, which is going to make up for the fact he's only 5'11", 200. He's got 99 speed and acceleration. Everything is essentially 99. The issue is that if you have a player that's smaller in your lineup, that's fine. And especially if he has unstoppable force. The issue is if he plays center, because while offensively he's going to be great, and he should be able to hold on to the puck against everyone that isn't like Oliver Meebus and those kind of players, but defensively, he's still not going to knock anyone off the puck that is of that same build. So if you go up against Sundin or Thornton or anyone that is just big, that has unstoppable force, he's kind of a liability in your own zone. And the problem is that centermen are the ones that help control the players that are in the slot and defend that area, meaning it's extremely important, which is why having a big centerman is such an advantage. Now, I've heard people in my community say nothing but good things about Sidney Crosby, which makes me want to put him in the A tier, but I'm not going to go against myself here. I want to put him in the B tier. I just think that there are some other options that you can go with. This next one is going to be team dependent. If you are not going to activate any abilities on Daniel Alfredsson. So if he is going to play low enough in your lineup where you're not activating unstoppable force or close quarters, I think Daniel Alfredsson is in the B tier. However, if you are going to use unstoppable force and close quarters, I think he pops up into the A tier. Much like Rick Nash, he is only going to be a winger for you. So again, lineup flexibility might be an issue, but they just don't give out a ton of good right-handed winger cards. I've seen and gone up against Daniel Alfredsson cards and used his 86, and he plays extremely fast. It is a very, very, very fun card. And because of that, I want to put him in the A tier, but again, he definitely needs his abilities to get him there. So that is going to be lineup dependent for you guys. No doubt in the A tier for me, the 97 Jerome McGinley, 6'1", 210, 97 speed, 98 acceleration. So he's high 90s in all of his skating stats, as well as everything else. He's got gold close quarters, which I mentioned is one of the best abilities, if not the best offensive ability in the game, and silver unstoppable force. Also, for some fun, he's got Silver Truculence, Total Eclipse, and Big Rig. I probably wouldn't activate Big Rig or Total Eclipse, but the rest make it extremely fun. Even if you're not going to activate any abilities on him, his build and attributes are good enough to keep him in the A tier, which is why I said Daniel Alfredsson. If you're not going to activate everything on him, then I would much rather have Jerome McGinley. But one of my favorite players, great card art, absolutely love it. He's in the A tier. All right, this one surprised me. When Joe Thornton came out in that first week, because of his lack of abilities, I really thought that he would be kind of underwhelming compared to the other cards, obviously. Now, he can get up to 95 speed and acceleration. He's 6'4", 220. He's basically the center version of Rick Nash. Everything is maxed out. This is a fantastic card. It's just he has no ability. Now, when I used him, he didn't get knocked off the puck because he's massive. He scored on almost every shot that I took, and he was fast. Like, I don't know why, but he was much quicker than all of the other cards I was using seemed. I don't know if that's because he's so much bigger and it's just like a longer stride. I have no idea. But Joe Thornton is in the A tier for me. And like I said, I was very surprised at that because of how good he played, because his lack of abilities just at this stage of the game is kind of a disappointment. Then into the S tier. We've got the 97 Rob Blake, 6'4", gold shutdown, no contest, bouncer, seeing eye, and ice pack. Now, if you cannot activate shutdown on him because he's not high enough in your lineup or you don't want to do that, I think he might fall into that A tier, but he's 6'4", 225 with 99 everything and 96 speed and acceleration. Like that, you're just not going to be able to find that very easily if you haven't been playing the game since launch. He's a great pairing to go with Chris Pronger if you are looking to completely overhaul your decor, and it's Rob Blake. Just again, an extremely cool card. I do think it is going to come down to the ability to activate shutdown or not. I've loved using him. His reach is exceptional. Great card. But easily number one, the highest of high in the S tier, the 97 Adam Foote, is the best card I have used from this event, on top of Pronger and Sundin. And I know that's a bit of a reach. I'm just saying. 6'2", 220, gold truculence, silver stick 'em up, no contest, seeing eye, and shutdown. You just need to activate truculence on this card. I know it says he has 96 speed and acceleration, but every time I try and break the puck out with him, I just fly down the boards and beat whoever I'm going up against. He crushes everyone because of truculence. And going back to NHL 22, one of the original Bash brothers in HUT. Adam Foote cards are just simply built different. If you are looking for one card to make outside of Sundin and Pronger, honestly, it's Adam Foote. All right, guys, so I hope that helps with some lineup decisions in terms of what to make from this event. I am going to make every single card from this event. Like I said, this is probably one of my favorite events that we've gotten in years in Hockey Ultimate Team. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.